Hey guys, it's me, Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. How are you doing today? Or evening. Today we're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is sales. All right. I've had some other salespeople reach out to me and ask me about this, so I'm going to share my strength and hope with you folks. Our title for today is Selling and How to Deal with the Fear of Selling. Selling and dealing with the fear of selling. What does that mean? Basically, anytime you get a new sales opportunity, or if you're thinking about getting a job in sales, you're going to be going through a lot of excitement, and there's going to be some fear, which is false evidence appearing real, that can kind of cause you to feel a little frustrated, a little mad, a little sad, and a little bit of all of the above. And what happens is when you become a salesperson, you start a new job, you get this opportunity to sell a product, but unfortunately, a lot of times if you don't have any experience in selling, it's kind of like difficult, and you kind of like try to figure out how to do stuff, but you need some organization. You need somebody to walk behind you and kind of say, hey, you're going to be okay. Let's have a conversation. This is what our expectations are, and this is what you can do, and let me show you how to do it. You know, we have fear because a lot of times because we don't know what to expect. I'm in the same boat. I mean, I've been in sales since the 80s, and I've had quite a few different companies that are no longer around anymore that went out of business, but I had to start somewhere. And then not too long ago, I recently started real estate. So I had to start all over in a genre, in a sales business that I can make a lot of money. But if you don't have any experience, it's like, dang, man, I'm kind of a little bit of afraid. You're afraid of the unknown. You're afraid of the experience. You're afraid of failure. You're afraid that, you may look foolish to your family, your friends, and sometimes it's just not a good feeling. So a lot of people, they don't even get into selling. They don't get into selling because they don't want to work on this thing called commission. Now, a lot of times people are afraid to even take a sales job because they have to depend on their own wits. They got to depend on their own work ethic. That means they got to work their butts off to make some money. They also got to depend on themselves to ask a lot of good questions, ring it in, and sell something. And it ain't always as easy as it sounds. You got to forgive me with all this background noise. Guys, I'm going over the Buckman Bridge right here in Jacksonville, Florida. It's evening time, but this came on my heart, so I thought I'd share it with you about, selling and having fear and how to overcome that fear. A lot of times, like I said, when you have fear in the business, it's because you don't know. And if you don't know, you kind of don't know what direction to go in. You're afraid to ask questions. You're afraid that people might laugh at you thinking, dang, you don't know that yet? And I've been there and I've done that, and I've had those feelings, and I've been there. And even recently, I have felt a little inadequate. And let me tell you the reason why. It's called fear. Not knowing the business process, not knowing how to have a complete selling a conversation, because I don't know the topics as well. But as time has gotten better, the more opportunities that I keep talking to people about my products, I get better and better and better at it. And I'm getting better and better and starting to sell, starting to make money. But it's a process, and that fear just creeps in. Even if you're doing really good, sometimes, things happen where customers change their minds, or they ghost you, where they say they're all interested in everything, and you're out there knocking on doors, selling stuff, and then people that thought were going to be sales, they just disappeared, and you're like, what did I do wrong? You generally didn't do anything wrong. People just changed their minds, and sometimes it could be the finance, it could be the money. So fear can hold us back even from buying. It also can hold us back from selling. And so if you're learning to if you're a new person just getting into selling, congratulations. It's a wonderful, wonderful life. It's a wonderful, wonderful career. I didn't say it was easy. It's kind of hard and it's kind of tough, but it's exciting. It's like, man, you are your own business person, business lady, business man. You actually, I don't care if you sell furniture and you work in a furniture store, you really work for yourself. and it can be kind of scary. But when you really venture out and you start doing door-to-door sales or business to business, or if you're selling big products and stuff where you work for yourself, it can be kind of scary. And then I'm just saying, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. If other people can do it, we can do it too. We can succeed. You just have to have faith in yourself. Faith is like saying, hey man, I know right now I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that if I keep trying, I keep studying, I keep working hard, eventually I'm going to get this. And it works. It really does. It works if you work it, but you got to have faith in yourself, and you got to have faith in whatever you're trying to sell, because see, it ain't easy to be a salesperson, guys. I'm telling you, it can be kind of overwhelming. It can be kind of scary, and it can be like frustrating as hey. And I've been frustrated. I don't know if you've ever been frustrated, but I have. Another thing, guys, it's like this. You don't got to know everything to sell your product. You really, really don't have to know everything. Unfortunately, there's some people who think that they got to know every single thing about a product before they can actually go out there and sell it. That's not true. You need to go ahead and learn as much as you can in a timely manner, but you'll never know everything, and it takes time. So if you're wanting to just get into sales and stuff, remember there will be this pink cloud time. This pink cloud is in the beginning. The management, everybody's walking you through the process, teaching you the basics and the fundamentals. And then here's what's going to happen. They're going to say, okay, it's time to go sell something. And then you're like, oh crap. So you better study hard. You better take notes. You better practice as often as you can. See, good practice makes your selling a lot easier, and it helps overcome the fear. I hate fear, man. It's like, I mean, I'll be sitting there talking to somebody, and then I get this little thing in my stomach or in my throat, and I'm like, oh crap. And then other times, man, it's like you just boom, boom, boom. You sell. And it's a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the better it is. But you have to remember, guys, to get better and to overcome fear, you have to practice your craft of selling. Give me a thumbs up, guys. Go ahead, and that helps with the algorithm, so other people who are like-minded, who are interested in learning how to overcome fear in selling or whatever, can see that people do care, and sign up and go ahead and subscribe. It would be wonderful. I'd love for you to be a part of my platform. And remember, guys, I am a real salesperson. I do this 7 days a week. I've been in sales for over 30-something years, so I have a little bit of knowledge. And so what I like to do is I like to share this stuff with you, so it's not like such a surprise. Or if you've been in sales too, you can say, yep, that makes sense. And I have over 700 videos that can walk you through the process of having a selling conversation and to help you get over fear. Fear just means that you don't know. Fear means that you're unsure of yourself. Fear means that I don't know if I will succeed. Hey, listen, it doesn't matter. You've got to try. If you try, you get out there, you do what you're supposed to, you ask for the order, you get up. Some people won't even try selling because they're so afraid of the word no. And see, the no doesn't mean that you won't get a sale. No can be, it can be as simple as, hey, maybe I need to ask another question. And a lot of times, rejection, it can hurt, but it doesn't kill you. You got to remember that. It doesn't kill you. So if you're trying to be a great salesperson, and if you want to be a salesperson, you're going to have to deal with a lot of rejection. You're going to have to deal with a lot of attitudes. And you got to remember this one thing. Be honest. Always be honest. You never have to worry about anything. And if you lie, oh my gosh, eventually you're going to get caught. If you don't know something, don't pretend. Tell them, I think I've got this, but let me go ahead and make sure, so that way I give you the right information. The fear of selling, it can keep us from being number one. It can keep us from paying our bills. Selling fear, it can just knock us out of the career of selling. There are some people, they get one opportunity, they try the sales, and then they say it didn't work out for me. And the reason why a lot of times was fear. They didn't have a good foundation. They didn't have people helping them see the big picture. Unfortunately, thank you, a lot of times people don't see the big picture. They only see right now in this little moment. And see, I was real lucky. I had somebody teach me about selling. And they taught me, Gary, this training that we're giving you ain't enough. You need to get more training outside. You need to learn how to ask for the order. You need to learn closing techniques. You need to learn how to have a selling conversation. You need to be able to learn how to talk to different personalities and different type people. And once you master those things, it's not to say you won't have fear anymore. It'll just be less. Like I said, I had to restart all over again here recently. I've got a lot of licenses and I've got a lot of certifications and stuff, and I've been selling for a long time. So yeah, I shouldn't be afraid. But once I started, I had to take a 63-hour course. I had to take a 45-hour continuing education class. I had to take all these other courses within courses in real estate to find out that, dang, man, I don't know a lot, and I'm still learning. I had to learn all this different type of paperwork, all this law, all this legality, and all this stuff. And in my mind, when I first thought, all I'm going to do is be selling, but it's a whole lot more than that. So fear has crept in. But see, here's the thing. If you have fear, that doesn't mean you give up. What that means is you grab a hold of the bull by the horns. You keep struggling. You keep pushing. You keep pushing. And see, what happens is, take a look of those top producers. Generally, those top producers didn't start, it ain't in the first year. It's the third, the fourth, the fifth, the 6 years, and when they become really, really, really successful. But see, they have to remember where they came from. So where you're at right now as a salesperson is right where you're supposed to be. If you have fear, you need to let somebody know. That means you talk to your boss. You don't go, I'm scared of everything. You just talk to them. Say, listen, can you help me? Do you have somebody that can mentor me? Do you have somebody who can help me with this process of learning? I'm a little insecure, and sometimes it's better to tell people that you're afraid and that you don't know than to act like you do know, and then they find out you're a dumbass, and then they say, well, we thought you knew. No, and then you leave. A lot of people, they get a good job opportunity to sell something. They may sell one or two, or they don't sell anything. So they feel very insecure. They start getting this thing called salesman's breath. They get desperate, and customers can see that. And it happens almost to everybody at one point where we get a little bit desperate, because some weeks are really good, some weeks are really bad, and some weeks are like, wow, man, I'm the best since sliced cheese. But fear will creep in sometimes, make us feel less than that. I made it last week, but remember, your bosses are always going to be the same. What have you done for me lately? So if you have some fear, acknowledge it. Say, I got some fear. I pray. I talk to God all the time. I talk to other men and women who are in my life that are in the sales business, and I tell them about my situations and what I'm going through and the feelings that I have. I've got a network like that. And by doing that, they give me compliments. Gary, you're so good. You're going to be great. Just keep trying, keep working, and we'll help you. People will actually help you if you ask for help. But if you don't, they don't know. And fear, it'll walk you right out that door and give you the capability never to try to be a salesman again. You deserve the chance to be a salesperson. Salespeople, we make the world go around. We change everything. It don't matter what company you work for. Like I said, I've worked since the 80s with a bunch of different companies. They ain't here no more. But Gary Lee's here. Gary's been able to write his own ticket. Gary's been able to get certifications, buy his own home, pay for his kids' education, school, been able to live and survive because I learned how to sell. It's fun, man. It's kind of fun. And I just remember when I first started, the camaraderie, it was fun. It was like, man, they're paying me and I don't got to work real physical hard. Now, you do have to work smart. You do have to work, you got to learn how to answer the phone. You got to learn how to call people. You got to learn how to talk to people. You got to learn how to close. And you got to learn how to overcome fear. Everybody has it. I don't care what job you go into, even if you're not a salesperson, everybody fears, but here's the thing. If you're a salesperson, you can write your own future. You can write as much money. You can make as much money as if you want. But you have to overcome that fear of rejection. You've got to overcome that fear that you can't. And just remember, you tell me, Gary, you don't have to have no fear. And I'm going to tell you, you don't have to have no fear. But when you do, remember, what do you have to do to overcome it? Go back to the basics. Tell yourself, I like myself. I can do anything. And then work your butt off and ask for help. It's that simple. So if you're having some fear, it's okay. Everybody does. But remember, it doesn't have to have you. And don't quit the business of sale just because you got a little bit of fear. Okay? All right.